Right. Okay,
Okay.
right. Well, a warm welcome to everybody. And yeah, this is KNUST AI webinar, and it's alumni all based in UK and Ireland, and I'm sure everybody else from other parts of the world. So I want to say welcome to everybody. We have a special AI webinar tonight, and I believe it's going to be exciting, very entertaining as well. And of course, we are going to learn so much after the sessions this afternoon. Okay, whilst we wait for everybody to join in, we want to know where you are joining us from, whichever part of the world. Please put it in the chat box. I am joining from the southeast of England, Milton Keynes to be specific. And so put it out there and then let's see where on the globe we are all scattered. Great. Tonight we have our experts to give us some deep insight on AI. I mean, AI these days, is there anything else that you can do without it? We need it. We need it. So, especially we have our big brother, alumni. Of course, we have our engineer, Alph D, we call him. He's going to give us some deep insights on how AI can be made practical, how to use AI in real life and work. So, yeah, Alph D will be our first speaker, and then we'll have a little question and answer session after Alph D's training. Then our sister to Mrs. Na Amasha Metulnunu will also give us some deep insight on how to create digital income with your skills and then AI. Hopefully, we have a lot of time at the end. And then brother, Mr. Richard Christy Kwating Ankara will also give us some digital leadership in the age of AI. So it's going to be a long afternoon or evening, wherever part of the world you are. So make sure you have your favorite drink right next to you, don't so you don't get too exhausted. Yeah. So we are here to just blow our minds with these three massive topics on AI. My name is Ben Boateng. Like I said before, I'm joining from Milton Keynes, southeast of England. And so, right, Evelyn joining from London. Welcome, Evelyn. Jifa from Ghana. Exciting. Okay, Al from London. Welcome, all of you. Let's also know which year you completed KNUST, or if you didn't go to KNUST, whichever university or wherever, just let us know. A little of, yes, we can also acknowledge you. So yeah, that's me done. Probably in the next couple of minutes, I will ask, I will give the microphone back to, to Alph D. He's already sharing his PowerPoint. I'm not sure if everybody can see it now, but I can see it. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Oh, Salali from London and 2007. Great. Angie from Ghana. Excellent. Okay. Right. Engineer Abdi, are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'm gonna be.
Always ready. Always ready. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Yeah. So I will leave the introduction bit for you to do it before you start your training, and so you can do a very good job on that. All right. So when you're ready, please take over, and your guests are ready also to listen to you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good evening, all. Good evening, fellow technocrats. Good evening, those who are friends of technocrats and have been invited to this meeting or to this presentations. We thank you for coming. We thank you for your time. I'm also thankful that you've given me the opportunity to, shall we say, share a few views on AI as in the world today. My remit, as it was, is to give you the basics so that anybody could start using it and doing the things that need to be done to help them in whatever they do. My name is Alph Doamekpor, from the Volta region in a little town called Hedrano, Three Towns. I'm a space engineer, worked with NASA, ESA, Roscosmos, UNISAT. My previous job, I was giving you weather data. I've got a program called Fish to Table where I can give you 10-day forecasts of fishing and where to fish on the west coast of Africa. Well, actually anywhere in the world. But on the west coast of Africa, 10-day forecast tell you when not to go because the seas will be rough and all that kind of stuff. So that's a bit of my background. I'm currently in Hungary, in Budapest. I moved here on Monday, started a new job. We're building a whole new satellite program for the Hungarians. I'm the PA, product assurance manager for that particular program. So that's what I'll be doing for the next few years, hopefully. And but today I've been asked, I'm in the middle of this. This is why I'm not quite ready for this presentation, but I said I'll do it, so I'll do it. So I'm going to take you through the basics. I'm not going to go deep into neural nets and all that kind of stuff and how AI works and the probabilities. And I did maths at pure and applied maths with statistics at KNUST, as well as pure and applied maths with statistics. Yes, and then did acoustics at University of Southampton and moved various things. Now, I'm going to try and give you a 45-minute presentation on the introduction to AI, which I think is impossible. However, I'm going to go at superhuman speed and try and do that and give you some hints as to what you can do so that it will wet your whistle. My fellow presenters are going to give you some more practical stuff on how you can make money with it. I've got one or two shall we say Easter eggs in here where you can actually make money or even find a job, because I've written a few apps that do just that. Okay, so starting here, where it's being organized by KNUST alumni for UK and Ireland, as Ben said. Oh, I've got Ireland twice, I don't know why. Interesting. I think we were talking Northern Ireland, but maybe we add Southern Ireland just for added benefit. And we're talking about AI made practical, how to use it in real life and work. We just thank the executives, the current executive, and in that vein, I will do some AI stuff. This is an AI presentation.
Our innovations are changing the world, driven by the spirit of KNUST. And that is something truly worth celebrating.
That was a video that was generated on the fly with AI. Basically, I spoke a few words into it and boom, it was there. Now, just to celebrate them a little bit more.
Our innovations are changing the world.
Here's a song.
Technocrats worldwide, from Nkrumah see the globe. Alumni fire, let it show. We came from the hill with the light in our eyes. Science and tech, building dreams to the skies. Home and abroad, we still carry the flame. KNUST Alumni, remember the name. Dorothy, Josiah, Dankwa, lead us with grace. Alfred Sam beside us, steady in place. Fred Tuyebo with the pen and the plan. Benjamin Boten, organize the clan.
Mimi Odell, keep the treasure tight. Set by the way, bring the vision bright. Doamekpor, let the work we grow. KNUST, we go higher. Alumni hearts on fire. Technocrats with a move, with the bass and the reggae groove. KNUST, we go higher. Giving back is our desire. Home and abroad, we answer the call. One family, one future for all.
From lecture halls to boardroom lights, from bold ideas to future heights, we mentor the young, we open the way. We fund the dream, we serve today. Build the network, raise the fund, bring the alumni back as one. Scholarships, projects, skills and pride. KNUST forever standing side by side.
Dora leads, Alfred stands, Fred writes a vision with capable hands. Benjamin calls, Mimi account. Benjamin calls, Mimi account. Set and talk, we make the mission count. KNUST, we go higher. Allow me, hearts on fire.
Driven by the spirit.
Move.
So basically, that was all made with the AI. I got a bit of information from our president, and I converted that into a song. A little bit of time, but okay. With the tools, this I think was Gemini, not Suno. I think there's another one with Suno, but we can walk you through that anytime we want. But as I say, I'm limited on time, so there's only a limit to what I can do. Now, demystifying the engine of what AI is, we have been misusing the word AI, and we say AI. All we've been using is generative AI. I didn't tell you that I'm actually certified AI, AI from MIT University, and also MIT certified from AI Mastery with Mindvalley as of 2000, middle of March 2026. I did my MIT stuff in 2024. And that is what I'm trying to squeeze into less than 45 minutes so that the others have time to do it. I've promised the exec that I will stay after the 2 hours, 1.5 hour, 2 hours, and answer any questions that you may or may not have. So if you want me to do that, that's all right with me. I've already said I'll do it. So yeah, I'll do it. And so that's that. So we have this big picture where we have what we call AI. And this is basically gathering data, and then we do some magic with the data, and we put machine learning on it. Basically, we get a computer to address the trends, to check the trends, to see whether there's anything in common that can link A to B and B to C, and it will give you a nice line that will be predictable for what will come next after C, which probably is D. And this is basically how AI works. Now, if you've got a database, fine, then you pull out the answers. But generative AI is slightly different in the sense that once you've got all this data, what it does, it goes in and searches and brings out what the most likely, this is a key phrase, most likely response should be. That most likely means that there's also a possibility, even if it's 99% certain that that is the answer, there is a possibility that there's a 1% certainty that it is not the answer. And that is where we've come into things like what we call hallucinations. Some people say the computer is lying. Yeah, it's probably lying. As I said, I did pure and applied maths with statistics at Tech, taught by Professor Alati as well. So I know what they're talking about. And yes, it's a probability thing, which is why if you see most of the what we call LLM models, ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Perplexity, Claude will say, or Notebook LM, they will say that please check your response because this could be, you need to check your response. I will go through that as part of the latter part of the presentation. You need to check your response. Sorry? Okay. So we have, as we say in MIT, and Jobs said it, Apple's former, may rest in peace, founder, said, computers are dumb. They only do what you tell them to do. And this has always been the case, will always be the case, even in the age of AI. Computers are dumb. They do what we tell them to do. So they're rule-based. So we put rules in place and we code them so that they do what we want them to do. And then we put algorithms, formula in there so that it does exactly and twists and turns and does that. Now we've got things, what we call neural networks, complete neural networks. I've been dealing with neural networks since 2000. We used them for the nuclear submarines for the UK, which was part of a previous life I had. And using that, we can combine a heck of a lot of data, an infinite amount of data, putting everything in, training the models to say, if this, then that, if this, then that, if that, then this. And we're talking trillions of potential combinations. And then from that, taking the most likely outcome. And this is, as you can see on the screen, hopefully on the screen, a systematic output. Now, I've used a combination of tools to do this presentation. Down at the bottom right-hand side down here, you'll see something called Notebook LM. I'll tell you why you can use Notebook LM, how you can use that Notebook, and how it's very useful in certain circumstances, as opposed to ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or Perplexity, or anything else out there that the Chinese may have. Okay, and next slide. So we will know, I think I've gone through some of this already. The framing principle is not magic. It's leverage for us to be able to have more data in order to come and act responsibility and give sensible information in a bigger forum. Or even for ourselves to find out more about what we call it. But hallucination, we can also guard against it. However, it is not certain. There are lots of things out, DeFi. I'll point that out because that's something that is big in the world today. DeFi is decentralized finance, which is in the crypto world. I do something in that area, and I'm doing certain investments where I'm making about 15%, between 10 and 15% a month. But I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. I also have somebody who's calling me, or a group that's calling me up that are fake from Austria, who are trying to scam me, which is quite interesting. But anyway, that's another ball. But that's in crypto finance. Prompts and apps are what we use, questions that we ask. How we ask the question will determine what answer we get in whatever tool, okay? And if we don't ask the question in the right way, then we will not get the answer we want, because the computer doesn't think, or it doesn't have enough information to make a decisive decision, in that when you're asking the question, unless you put all the presuppositions in there, unless you put the assumptions in there, everything combined with your experience and everything else, then it has to make certain of its own assumptions that the answer is based on what it determines to be the scope of the question or the prompt. So I was thinking of doing a 90-day alumni plan, but maybe I'll talk with execs at another point in time, but not now. So it was all that. So in simple terms, we have AI, which is the big thing, the machine that performs the task, that needs human-like judgment, language, vision, planning, and pattern recognition, but it does it real quick. You have machine learning where the machine learns how these patterns from the data, which is properly, shall we say, if you've got a spreadsheet, or you've got your bus timetable, or you've got the drugs that you take in a hospital, or you've got certain symptoms from a hospital, and they say from there, it's most likely you have malaria, or you have this, or you have that. And that these are things that the machine will learn, right? The deep learning goes even deeper and uses a load of combinations of not only what the machine learning information is, but further information to come to a certain conclusion based on the information that it has. Is not, as I said, 100% accurate. It can be 99.9999% accurate, but it's not necessarily 100% accurate. Same with, so then that will push us into generative AI, where models, I think you've seen it on your phones, where you're typing and then it will come up with the next word, which is the most likely word based on the previous word, or the previous 2 words, or the previous 3 words, etc. What is the next word? And it will tell you that, oh, based on the grammatic, it won't tell you that, but basically what it's doing is based on the grammatic expression, you use the plural in the previous words, therefore the next word is are, not is. So it does this. All this is generative AI, okay? And we use it for code, we use it for music, we use it for ideas, we use it for reports and simulation. So when we ask the question properly, then we get proper answers. So AI is the big umbrella. Machine learning learns from the data, all the data that you input. It will bring out some information, and it stays there. And a deep learning is a powerful neural network that combines that with this and everything else to come out with something else. And then generative AI sits there and goes in and says, this is the question. What is the most likely answer? And basically, most of us are using generative AI. Some of us actually go back to the AI machine learning and train it in deep learning and how the machine learns. But most of us will use generative AI, which creates new outputs. Most of the stuff that you have, it has not been written in the way that you have it in front of you at any given point in time before, because it depends, as I said, it depends on your question. So again, we train it on generative AI is trained on large amounts of data, next words, and it's probabilistic. It can sometimes produce confident but incorrect or even fabricated answers, often called hallucinations. I'm stressing this because I have even come across Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, Copilot, etc., coming to me with answers. I've argued with mates of mine who we went to university together, and they said, oh, but AI is giving me the answer. I said, I don't care what AI is giving you the answer. It is incorrect because I can logically see that it is incorrect. So the impact is the impact is most of the data that is being used to train these models is from the global north, not from the global south, not from the Africas, the Indias, and various places, well, maybe from the Indias, but not from the global south, no, definitely not from Africa, highly unlikely to be from Africa. So there is also possible a bias from that in that perspective, okay? And so for that reason, it's important that we check our facts, especially if it's applying to us in the global south. If we're in Africa and AI says blah, 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 check it, triple check it. I tried to put in Motown, and it was giving me something about Motown from the 1970s, Michael Jackson, Jackson 5, Motown, and that's how Motown became Motown. Now, having been there at that time, I know that's not true. I put in a friend of mine's name in Gemini, and normally to come up with a whole spiel on the person, which gives you the background and blah, 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 blah. You can do it yourself right now if you want after the presentation, and you'll see that it's giving you a lot of information about the person. It is not necessarily true. And it also depends on whether you're using the paid version and what mode you're using, whether you're using the fast, the thinking, and or the pro. So all these things are factors in, and I've got that slightly later on, which I will come to. I mean, these slides I will make available, and the recording, I understand, will also be available. Okay, and the other thing is guardrails. And on my first, I mean, I pay for my my LLMs, my chat GPTs and stuff like that, and I put guardrails in there. I've told it, I do not want answers that it thinks highly probable. If it doesn't know, it should tell me it doesn't know. If you don't do that, it will tell you, it will give you a highly probable answer, and it will look absolutely kosher, and it will be wrong. It happened in Australia, where I think it was one of the big firms was working for the government, gave them a report which was AI generated, and it was incorrect. They gave it to some guys at the university to check, to give a cursory glance. The guys at the university said, guys, I worked with the guys of the reference, and the references are wrong, to the extent that they were completely fabricated. Not only were they wrong, they were generated wrongly. I mean, they didn't exist, not on the planet Earth. So it wasn't Australia or New Zealand, but anyway, that was a wee while back. But these are the kind of things that we've got to be careful about. So what do we use AI for? We can use it for global reports, automated drafting, sentiment analysis. We can use it within our chapter to generate information once we have the data. Key thing is once we have the data. If we don't have the data, we can't do jack, which is why Africa is in the position that it is. We have to start sorting out our data and having consistent data being the key. And then we can start programming and training our own models. Okay, so 20 minutes long. I'm going to try and speed up here. Financial status and bursaries. We can find out a lot of stuff from finance. Predictive financial models. We have a lot of stuff in AI today, which is generating a heck of a lot of money, especially on the stock exchange, decentralized finance, as I mentioned earlier, in the crypto world. We've got that. And we've got stuff that we can even create. I've got an app, for instance, that if you put your CV in, it will look at your CV, go out into the big wide world cloud, pull out all the jobs that match your CV, and give you links to apply for the job, assuming you're looking for a job in that area. Marketing and events, just like I played this music. The music was, as of yesterday, did not exist. As of today, everything, the band, the sax, the drums, everything were included. So we have scenarios like that where we can generate things on the cuff, off the fly. Okay, so again, generative music, creative campaigns, personalized email outreach. You can get it to organize your email, Gmail, and all that kind of stuff. So what can AI do today? As I said, create, understand, assist, analyze. So the shift is from searching for information, which we used to do, is for it to be a working partner. a working and thinking partner with you, right? So you end up bettering your output. And when I say bettering your output, I'm talking about something that a report that used to take me, say, a couple of 3 weeks to write based on input, research, and stuff, now it takes me a couple of hours. Why? Because I've got all the data at my fingertips. I know what it's supposed to say. I can do a brain dump. It will organize everything for me, and I have to just read it and check, because I still remain responsible for the output. I cannot go to my customer or my boss and say, oh, here's my AI generated output. No, here is my output. I have to check everything that AI puts out and make sure that it is on me. The responsibility is on me. Okay? So always know that the responsibility is you. Okay? So you have, we as a chapter, we as alumni, as technocrats, can go from 1 degree to upscale our chapter and use these tools to better what we do, how we do it, how we reach out, how we organize ourselves, how we get our dues paid, and all the rest of it. I'm saying this because we are what we call, but there are various resources out there. Some are free, some are paid for, some are strategic. As I say, I did an MIT course, and I'm MIT certified. I mean, it wasn't easy from any stretch of the imagination, but hey, I did it. It took me 6 months, something like that. The AI mastery with Mind Valley was again the same. I mean, wasn't free either, wasn't cheap, but there are free courses out there. And some of them are, Coursera, there are YouTube, prompt engineering tutorials, but now we've even gone past prompt engineering and we've gone into vibe coding, but prompting, even with vibing, is a good thing. I've done websites for people in less than 24 hours with music videos and the rest of it. So we can jump on that bandwagon as KNUST. I know that tech, as we used to call it back in the day, KNUST, has started a course similar to this. I don't know how much it is, but I noticed it on LinkedIn. So you got advanced operations with ChatGPT Plus, Claude Pro, Gemini Pro, and all these kind of stuff. So there are all things that we can do as a group. And you can plug into various other databases through API keys, which you don't need to know about, but just they're called interfaces where you plug into someone else's database, you run your whatever information you want to, your prompt to extract certain bits of information, so you don't have to download all their data in order to do what we call it, something that we do in at UMITSAT, to determine if someone wants a certain subset of the satellite data that we acquire, right? So the computers are dumb, as I said. They're fast, literal, and obedient dumb, right? Their dumbness is to the obedience, okay? So they do what they tell them and not always what you meant, okay? So you have to put it in context. You have to give them a task, and you have to give them constraints, guardrails, and then you must check what it tells you, okay? So better prompt is a better assistant. Bad prompt is confident confusion at industrial speeds, all right? So please make note of that, all right? I'll give you a funnel, right? You put the raw data in, and this is a bit of a, for one of it, mechanical mechanic. It's whirling around, putting stuff in, sieving it out, breaking it down, and sieving it until you got the final stuff out there. You've got filler one, hallucination check, cross check, references, generative models invent facts. Literally, they invent facts. Never publish AI generated university history or constitution without human verification. Whether that's the university, whether it's your job, or whether it's even yourself, check it, double check it, triple check it, especially if you know differently. And I'll give you a few tools if you're not the expert in the room. There are ways for AI to check AI, but you don't use, for instance, ChatGPT to check ChatGPT. You use Gemini to check GPT, or Claude to check GPT and Gemini and stuff like that, which is more in my further slides. I'm just jumping the gun here because I might not be able to finish it on time. So I'll just give you a preview of what we're talking about. The crypto space is rife with scams. All AI recommended financial strategies must pass traditional auditing in any way, shape, or form, whether within our group or outside our group. If you are invited to a crypto space with decentralized finance, which I will introduce you to one at the end of this at the end of this presentation. I might jump to it at some point in time. And you can check it out for yourself. But I know that I've been in it for the last, since August last year, end of August last year. Never input sensitive information. That's another thing. If you put sensitive information into an AI and you have, Gemini especially, it will use that information and put it into the training model and use that training model to regenerate their information. So then it now becomes public domain information. So you got to be careful as to what you put in there. With some of the paid models, you can restrict it to only bringing back the data, the information that you want it to do, and not use your information for training. So things like ChatGPT will allow you to do that, but you have to set it up. If you don't set it up by default, it becomes public domain information. Same with Claude. Okay. So a practical example of a prompt. You're a practical alumni, operations advisor. The context, you have to give context. So you got a KNUST alumni wants to increase dues and diaspora engagement, which I'm sure Ben is probably jumping at the bits. Give me this prompt, give me this prompt. Create a 90-day activity plan, format the table with the owner, cost, risk, and first next step. Guardrails, ask for mission data, do not invent amounts. You can see where I'm coming from. And therefore, these are the kind of things it does. So it gives AI a role, it gives a context and an audience, defines the output, and controls the format. So this is more or less what you call prompt engineering in a very quick way. Okay. So hallucination guardrails. So just to ensure that you're trying to check to make sure that it's not lying to you, or it is not made up the information on the fly, which is quite possible. AI can be useful and wrong at the same time. It's a very spicy combination because when it brings you the story, you believe it. Trust me, you will believe it. But it's not necessarily true. In fact, it's almost certainly not true. So ask for citations, source names, date. One of the things I do when I am not the expert in the room is I ask it to verify and validate the response. Even within, if it's ChatGPT, Gemini, I ask it to verify and validate the response and tell me what is missing. I've even set up even stronger guardrails on my personal setup so that I get, I reduce the probability of hallucinations to the minimum. Okay. tell AI what it may use, upload files, examples of the files, and confirm data and test it. What else could be wrong? What assumptions did you make? And before you sign it off, always have a check and have people approve it, put a human in the loop. Rule of thumb, if a decision can affect money, reputation, access, or safety, verify it outside AI. Make sure you double, triple, quadruple check it. The same, and don't use the same AI to check the AI. Use a different AI. I'll come to that. So the most common tools are ChatGPT, Claude, Google Gemini, Perplexity. This is a general overview of what they do, how they do, and what they are, in quote, allegedly best for. Okay. I'm not going to stay too long on this slide. I'll give you a second to take a screenshot if you want. Otherwise, you catch up on the video. We're on 41 minutes, something like that. And I think I've got a couple of minutes left. Okay. So again, which API should we use, or which AI should we use? I've got Claude, ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Perplexity, and specialized tools. Notebook LM, in terms of specialized tools, is a great one. 11 Labs for voices, and there are also video tools. But now, as you saw from, as you heard from the song was written with Gemini. I normally use Suno. I've got a few songs on Suno, but today I decided to use Gemini to try it out. Okay. Google Gemini is good, but then your data becomes public domain. It's good for deep research, and it's got a whole ecosystem. And I mean, the different things have got different things. Again, you can screenshot that. Don't pick a tool by hype, but pick it for a reason. Okay, so some of you will be using Copilot because that's what you're assigned to use at work, and only assigned to use that at work. You're not allowed to use other things outside because of this rule of thumb of the information that goes into these large language models is not secure, and companies don't like their data going out. This is a table which basically summarizes what we said earlier, or what I said earlier. In terms of verifying and validating, if you've got ChatGPT, use Gemini Deep Research or Claude. If you've got Gemini, use ChatGPT or Claude. Claude, then use ChatGPT. So that's basically a matrix of what you should use in order to check your AI. Okay, it's a practical policy. It's what I do as by default. Although I mainly use ChatGPT and Gemini. Well, actually, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Notebook. I sometimes use Claude. Hardly ever use Copilot, but because Copilot uses ChatGPT's engine training mode to generate its responses. So more or less, ChatGPT and Copilot are the same what we call. But at the end of the day, you are the responsible person. You are the final responsible on the what you call it. You can similar information. Check your source. You are the final responsible. You are the final responsibility. We're lifting our voice for KNUST, for Dorothy who leads the way. This is again something that's based on Tugby. My apologies. The spelling of Tugby, I think it was Tugby, but I'm not whether it's Tigby or Tugby, but okay. My apologies on that. But this was one of the bases for the song that was written again, generated via AI creativity, proving that technology can honor tradition and amplify your spirit. And this was generated in Notebook LM, as you can see it down here. And we can have that. We can actually do as we say now, we can use these things in Twi, Ga, French, Ever, Hungarian, and the rest of it. So, but the local knowledge and the expert in the room is still the expert in the room. We can put our information there and ask it to, shall we say, consolidate and streamline our thoughts. And then you can easily transfer that information, especially some people who think on a certain level and they want to express it to everybody. We can actually do that now because we can just go, we can speak into the computer, it'll copy our words and then rearrange everything into nice concept, shall we say, streamlined thoughts and phrases that makes everybody that can make everybody understand, at least to a certain degree, what they're doing. We've got ideas as to why you would do this for admin, for comms, for finance, for research, for career, runs of shows, in terms of analyzing all this data, funding coming in, laws, meeting agenda minutes. If I were to tell you now that, you know, you can put in Gemini, at least the paid version, the link to YouTube of a video, and it will give you a summary, a verbal summary of what exactly it was. So you don't have to listen to 2 hours of what it was, and it will just summarize everything in a short paragraph, depending on what it is. So there's a high impact in terms of helping us to generate new information, absorb new information, and share new information in a responsible way. But we are responsible for the output. If we share it, we are responsible for it, and not the AI that is got, like going to the library. It was in this book and it was in that book, and I just summarized it, and therefore the library book is responsible. No, we are responsible. Okay. Governance. We got to classify our data, approve the tools. And this is why I say some people have Copilot at work, not Gemini, because that's within the Microsoft. Copilot is within the Microsoft ecosystem, and they secure their data in a particular way. If you do the free one on site, online, then that's a different ballgame. But for those within institutions, you can have your own LLM within your institution, and you cannot go outside, which is something that Notebook LM does pretty well. So I'm not going to have time to go into Notebook LM. Practical use AI to draft and analyze, and use people to approve. I think I've stressed that more than enough. I'm not going to go through this. This is more about us as a chapter. Free tools. This is probably where you want to go. Google AI resources, Kaggle Learn for intro to machine learning, Python, Panda. These are machine learning and stuff. These are all things that, yes, if you want to go into that level of detail, you can. But at the end of the day, nowadays, with the tools that we have, we can use vibe coding, which is speaking to the computer and ask it to do something, and it does it for you. Use it. So we've got Microsoft Learn, AI, elements of AI, non-technical foundations for a broad audience, which is probably us. Google resources, Fast AI, and that's for coders. So learning AI literature, prompting, data sheets, and all the rest of it. We can do a heck of a lot in a very short period of time. And yep, I think you can skip this side because that's something that I was going to try and do. But as I said, 45 minutes is definitely not enough. Finance rule: no AI generated advice becomes an association without human review, approved signatures, or documented evidence. Whether it's finance, whether it's law, whether it's advice, full stop, to any party, make sure that it's certified and approved by an individual. AI will not replace alumni commitment. It will not replace you and I. It will multiply that which we put in. If we put rubbish in, it will multiply the rubbish out. Okay, so we have to give it structure. We have to define it. We have to define what we want it to do and then take it from there. I will leave this slide for you guys to go through, because what I've done is I've given a summary of which model, what it does, whether it's free, whether it's paid, whether it's fast, whether it's the thinking model, whether it's the pro model, and how you could use it. The fast, the thinking, and the free, they have different results. So you don't expect to get the same result from each and every one of them. Again, some of the programs that you can use from a paid perspective as opposed to a free one. Buying tip, pay for structure, project, and feedback and certificates. I went to MIT because I wanted the certificates, even though I'd done a lot of AI prior hand, and it's not another pile of video. So basically, I came out with a 98% average. So anyway, in terms of references for this, these are what I've used. And for those who are looking for jobs, I've written an app for you. Scan the QR code now. This app, you put your CV in. I put it on the AI, on the platform, the KNUST platform, Alumni platform. And basically, you put your CV in. If you put where you want to work, your location, what salary you're looking for, what limitations you are. If you're in Ghana, you want to work in Kumasi. If you're in UK, you want to work in Ghana. If you're in Ghana, you want to work in America, in Atlanta. You put all that kind of stuff in, and it will match your CV to the jobs online. So you can scan that code. I was going to say you can click on this code, but basically it's free. It's up to you. You can take a picture of the screen, and it'll take you to that particular app. So at the moment it's free. I've made it free. I've updated it, and it will also give you a cover letter based on whichever job you select that you might be interested in. Okay, so that's something from me to benefiting the alumni and those that are coming out of our university and the planet as a whole. And Aurum is another platform, which is decentralized finance, which is the one I was talking about, that's making something of the 10-15% scenario. If you need to and you want to go into that kind of investment, let me know. I can link you up there. That's not a problem because it's by invitation only. Simple activities. I think what I'll do now is I'll end. And should you want to talk to me later on, I'll wait till the end of the other presentations. I think I've gone over my time by possibly 5 minutes. So my apologies to the other presenters. I had to rush through that, and we still do what we call it. So over to you, Ben, please. Thank you.
Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Engineer Alph D. Mind-blowing stuff. Okay, so if you have just joined us, this is KNUST Alumni UK and Ireland trying to put together an AI seminar. And Engineer Alph D gave us the initial or the first talk on how to use AI in real life. I've posted a question in the chat window. Let's make it very engaging. I've seen some hands up. Yeah, in a minute, I'll give a couple of you a chance to ask any questions you have. But I want you to also post in there what your main takeaway has been so far. I think it's been very deep, insightful. I've taken quite a lot. Perplexity is one thing that I'm gonna try out, and definitely the global Find My Job. is also something that we all have to try out. I mean, the music from the beginning of the, you have to show me and probably all of us how you did it. So I'll ask Alf, our main tech behind this, if possible, to create like a breakout room. And yeah, at the end of all the speakers, you can join whichever room you want, and then I'm sure of the other speakers will have time to speak to you. Okay, two questions. Two questions. Barbara, your hand was up first. You have the floor. Unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you so much for today. I just wanted to find out if this was recorded because I didn't come from the beginning, so I just wanted to find out if it was recorded or if
Yeah.
are there going to be more sessions like this?
Yes, it's been recorded and it will be shared. If you're on the Alumni platform, it will be shared on that platform. Otherwise, you might have to contact any of the executives, and you should also have it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, right. Another question.
Just a quick question, just a quick answer. DL is deep learning. It's something that computers do. You don't need to know it in order to use AI or generative AI.
Okay, and Salali has also asked a question. Can I get a referral to the Orem, please? These are
Yes,
possible?
I will do. Can you give me her contact details and I will WhatsApp her because it's not a straightforward thing. I'll have to walk you through it and tell you. And I would also like you to do your due diligence rather than just jump into it. What we call it, but yeah, I'm as I say, I'm making 15%, something like that, a month. It's very very nice little tool.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, so Salali, get in touch. I think at the end, like I said, we will create a breakout room and then you can have that from Alph D. Okay, can't see any more questions, but please, if you do have any questions, put it in the chat window so we can ask at the end. Right, so that sets us up for our next speaker, who is Na Amasha Metal-Nunu, and Na is going to give us a brief lecture on how to create digital income with the skills that you know, with your skills, and then AI. So how to create digital income with your skills.
Ben, just
yes,
a quick one. Barbara has had her hand up since ad infinitum.
Okay.
I don't
Barbara,
know.
do you still have your hand up? I think she asked a question.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to put my hands down. Sorry.
Okay. You being lectures,
Barbara.
you forget to put your hand down. You forget to write as well.
Okay, great. So I've seen another question, but let's see. I think we'll come back to that at the end. But if we move on and then we answer other questions at the end, please, because we might be running.
I'll be here at the end. So
okay, thank you, Alph D. All right, so now he's going to tell us how to create digital income with your skills in AI. And I think Na will be joined by one of her students later on, Nana Isikaizi. The name sounds very familiar. So yeah, now I think I can see your slides are up. So yeah, your guests are ready to listen to you. If you give us a brief introduction to yourself and then straight down to business. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everybody. First of all, thank you very much to the organizers for the opportunity to present, and thank you to everybody who has joined us. So there's a cold going on in my household and it's affected my voice, so I'll do my very best. If you don't hear something, please just put up your hand or alert me, but I'm going to try. I've got my water here, so hopefully the throat will behave. It has to behave. I've told it to behave. So creating digital income with your skills and AI. So most people think that like digital income is for influencers or just for entrepreneurs or people who have technical skills. But the truth is, the people who are actually best positioned to create digital income are people like you, working professionals, people who have university degrees, because you already have the skills, you already solve problems, you already have experience, valuable experience. A lot of times you are sitting on a gold mine, and unless somebody shows you, you don't even realize what's possible with what you already know. The only difference is that you haven't yet turned that into something scalable, right? So hopefully that's what I can show you to do here. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Digital products will allow you to build income that gives you more time without needing to do more work. That should sound like music to your ears, particularly if you have sort of juggling work from home. Can I go to the office? So this allows you to make more money without necessarily putting in more of your time. So instead of building your life around your job, which is what most of us do, you can instead start to build your income around your life. If you see me looking back and forth, I've got a second monitor here with my slides. So that's what I'm doing.
I send you a link which is on Zoom.
Right.
I send you a link to a Zoom webinar on.
Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about what digital marketing is. I want to simplify it for you. So digital marketing is simply using online platforms to sell your knowledge, your skills, or solutions. So this bottle of water, for example, if the person who made it wants to sell more of it, they have to actually manufacture, if they want to sell 1,000, they have to actually manufacture 1,000 bottles of water. But if you create a digital product, you're able to create it once, and then people can buy it an unlimited number of times digitally. And they can also access it digitally. So if I wanted water, they would have to ship it to me or deliver it to my house. But with a digital product, you can buy it online and then access it right away digitally. The throat is messing up. So digital products will allow you to create something once, like I said, and sell it over and over again. That's how, if you hear people saying passive income, I made money whilst I was sleeping, that's really how it's done, because they've created a digital product and people can buy it all around the world any time of the day. So let me tell you a little bit about my story. So I'm Naaman Shashi. My name is very long. Naaman Shashika Metsonunu Boache is very, very long. So I've shortened it and I'm just using the Naaman Shashika as my brand name. I spent 16 years in investment banking, starting in Wall Street in New York with JP Morgan. And then I moved to London with JP Morgan, worked there for like another, I think, 8 years. And then I moved to Barclays and became a vice president in London, managing global tech projects. And when I say that, I went to Wesley Girls, I went to university in Massachusetts, in New York. I finished with the first class. I got a job at Wall Street's JP Morgan. It sounds so fantastic. On paper, it looks like everything is doing, so well. I mean, I was earning well, I was progressing in my career, being promoted. I was promoted to VP at 30. So doing what most people would consider successful, right? But here's the thing that people don't talk about. I'm calling it golden handcuffs, because if your entire lifestyle, so your whole life, your job, and is funded purely by your job, then actually, if you think about it, you are not secure. You're actually quite exposed, because the moment you stop working, the moment you cannot physically go to work, the money will stop as well. And if you think about it, then that's no freedom. It's actually golden handcuffs, and you don't even realize that those handcuffs are on. And I'm saying this because I've lived it. And I'm going to share with you how my perspective changed and what happened. So, what changed everything? At one point, I was earning 6 figures, thought I was doing well. Then in 2022, I was diagnosed with not one, not two, but 3 major chronic illnesses. And in a very short space of time, my ability to work completely disappeared. I mean, I just couldn't do anything. And then I was watching a show, I think it's called, okay, now I want you to really think about this for a second. Okay, think about what I just described and what happened to me. If you have a family, which I have a family, if you have a mortgage, you have responsibilities, And overnight, you just get diagnosed with a serious chronic illness and then you are not able to work. It's a very, very scary place to be. And around the same time, I was watching, there's this show in the UK. I don't know if I'm remembering it correct. It's either Rich Home, Poor Home, or Rich House, Poor House. One of those shows where they have a family from the lower 10% income in the UK and then a family from the top 10%, and they sort of swap homes. So I was watching one of those shows, and one of the families that was in the bottom 10%, the woman, the wife, she had been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. So because of that, she was unable to work. And that's actually one of the conditions that I've been diagnosed with, fibromyalgia. So she wasn't able to work. And so her entire household income, her husband plus her income, they were now all having no choice but to rely on just one income, her husband's, because she had fibromyalgia. It's a very serious condition where sometimes you can't even get out of bed and you have pain in different places that nobody understands where and why it comes about. And they were struggling. And I remember watching it and thinking, oh my goodness, that could have been my story. I'm sitting here today sharing with you, talking about how I've built a successful business in spite of my diagnosis. But for this woman, the same condition, the same situation, completely different outcome for her family. And I remember thinking that if I hadn't started building a digital income, if I didn't have another option, if I didn't have another way of making money apart from my job, which I wasn't able to do, this woman's story would easily have been my story as well. And for me, I don't know how long she was out of work for, but when I was diagnosed, I was unable to work for 23 months. 23 months, like 2 whole years. A lot of people, so maybe you have 4 months salary saved, maybe you have 6 months salary saved. Do you have 1 year salary saved? Do you have 2 years salary saved? If you don't have that much money saved and you also don't have an alternative way of making money, then this is your wake-up call, because it happened to me. When you're earning 6 figures and it vanishes overnight, it's a shock to the system. So I'm here today to tell you, please, please, please listen to me and take action, okay? Because the truth is, illness has no schedule. It doesn't announce itself. Recovery has no timeline. It would have been good if I was able to recover in 3 months, 6 months. In my case, it took 23 months. And I still have some recurring, things that I'm dealing with that have affected my capacity and things like that. But I'm making it work. But it took 23 months to get to a place where I was like, okay, I'm a little bit better. And the future is unknown. So I'm just here to ring a loud bell. Please, please, please have your plan A, B, C, D. Don't just be relying on your salary. And it's not about how much you earn. It's not about whether you're earning 30K, 60K, 100K. If you can't go to work and your income will stop, we are all in the same boat. So I just want to share that with you and, help you to think about it. If your income depends on you, you are exposed. And the takeaway here I want everybody to think about is build income before you need it. Yesterday, I was reading something online, and the author was saying that banks are funny. They will lend you money when you don't need it. They will send you, I don't know if you guys get these letters, bank balance, you qualify for this loan. They'll be sending it to you when you don't need it. But if you are actually in dire straits and you actually need a loan, then they'll still know you don't qualify. The time to build that extra income is before you need it, when you are well, when you are sound mind, when you have energy, when you can think clearly. Because if you wait till you're sick, then you're now trying to scramble and do something, and it's not a good situation to be in. So anyway, I'm just sharing that with all of you. Now, the good news is you already have, like I said, you are sitting on a gold mine. You already have skills, knowledge, experience. You already have what you can use to generate additional income, okay? You have, I'll talk a little bit about how you can turn what you know, your skills, your knowledge, your experience? How do you package it? How do you turn what you know into digital income? I'll share a little bit about that opportunity further down the line. But the good news is you have something, regardless of your age, regardless of where you are now, whether you have a job, whether you're a student, whether you're in school, it doesn't matter. You have something that you can use. So what's the opportunity that I want to share with you? And that is to create and sell digital products. Because you see, what you need is a smarter way to package what you know into a digital product, not physical products like this. A digital product, something that you create online, is delivered online, it lives online, you sell it online. That can generate income for you. And I'm sharing some examples here of simple beginner-friendly digital products. You can do advanced things, but if you are brand new, you have a job, you are doing something on the side, this is like a side hustle that you are starting, start with something simple like an ebook, a guide, templates that you are using, planners, mini courses. Claude and all these AI now are even making it so easy to create like AI tools and things like that. So that too is something you can create. But if you are brand new and you are starting, there's opportunity in these simple digital formats, right? So ebooks, guides, templates, planners, mini courses, as coloring books, as example. The key thing is that it's a simple product that you create that will help somebody solve a very specific problem. Okay, so keep that in mind. You're solving a problem for somebody. And I want to say that it doesn't have to be based on the job that you have. Okay, it doesn't have to be what you create, your digital product doesn't have to come from the skills you are using in your job. It could come from hobbies that you have, a life experience, married, planned a wedding, you can create a guide for brides, got divorced, how did you survive? One of my students created a program helping women who are over 40 and have been divorced. I've forgotten the name of her program. I think it's Radiant Again or something, like how to rediscover yourself. And that program, she created it out of her experience. So your life experience, something you've personally overcome, your personal wins. If you've solved a problem, if there's a problem you've solved in whatever area of your life, think about how did you solve it? You can package that solution into a digital program, a digital solution, digital products. Okay. And I want to talk about this as well, because whenever time I share, oh, you can create a digital product, somebody will message me, what if I want to stay hidden? What if I don't want to show my face? So I'm telling you here, you don't need to show your face. Okay, you don't need to become an influencer. You don't need to create a personal brand. You can just focus on creating digital products without being visible. You can just use AI. Either you use AI to create an AI twin that sort of looks like you, or even use AI to create an AI avatar that looks nothing like you. Completely different race, completely different age, doesn't matter. People who have a problem, they are not focused on who is selling me the problem. The solution. They want, how well does this product solve my problem? So don't worry about showing your face. If you don't want to show your face, there are ways to do it faceless. People care more about having their problem solved. So that should be good news for everybody who is like introvert or, for whatever reason, work, whatever personal reason, if you don't want to show your face, it's possible. Now, AI changes the game. AI changes everything, because what took months now takes days. And what one person can now do, I pretty much run our business like one-man band. It used to take teams to do it. AI gives you speed, AI gives you leverage. And it's so exciting. I'm so excited. I don't know if you can tell. Apart from the fact that I need to drink water, I hope you can tell that I'm quite excited about sharing this, because it's amazing what's possible. So why does this matter? I want you to think about, apart from what I shared earlier about, being diagnosed with chronic illness and the need to have that second job for security, something is happening globally and you have to be aware of it. The reality is that AI is going to replace many jobs. companies are already reducing roles and they are not planning to replace them. So people who win, the people who will come out of this whole thing as winners and not the losers, are the people who will learn how to use AI instead of those who are waiting to be forced to react to it. So it's not too late. It's still very new. The tools, we're all still learning the tools. Even the people who claim to be AI experts, things are moving so fast. We're all still learning. It's not too late. The key thing is to start and sort of start taking advantage of it, and don't wait to be on the other side of it before you start thinking, hey, what can I do? No, start planning now. So the winners are those who adapt early. So I want to share with you a simple 7-step system that I've created that I teach people, especially beginners, how to make your first 10K online. Am I saying that when you follow these steps, everybody here will be guaranteed 10K? Please, I'm not saying that. I cannot guarantee that legally, ethically, because it depends on you. How much time will you put in? How much marketing will you do? How much effort will you put in? Your results will depend on you. But if you follow these steps, it's simplified in such a way that if you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you create your product and you put it out there, you can generate 10K, 20K or more income per month. Okay, so the steps are your idea. What can you create with what you know, with what you already know? What's the idea? What's the thing that you can create? Then once you figured out what that thing is, creating it. Then coming up, once you create it, you have to create an offer. Your offer is like the way you describe your product so that the person who needs it, as soon as they hear it, they're like, yes, that's me. I need this thing. Where have you been? I've been looking for this thing. So coming up with your offer. Sometimes when people create something, they don't know how to package it or they don't know how to talk about it so that the person who actually needs it immediately gets it and they raise their hand up, I want this. And that's why you can have a really good product and nobody's buying it. It could be your offer is not written properly. So you come up with your idea, you create your product, you come up with an irresistible offer, then you launch it. And then launching it basically, this is a little bit, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but launching it is basically like putting your product in a store so that the people who want it can reach it, pay for it. They'll pay you, so you get your money, and they also have access to their product without anybody having to call you to ship anything, deliver anything. It's all automated, it's all online. Marketing is where you tell people, your potential clients, about your product because they don't know. They have a problem, yes. You've created a solution that will help them, yes. We need to bridge the gap. They need to know, they need to become aware of your product. And if your offer is written properly, they will buy if they have that problem. So, and then you come to the step where you are scaling. Scaling is where you are adding AI. You've gone from having just one digital product to adding multiple digital products. I don't want to use any of the technical terms, but like we have things called like upsells. So you know how if you go into McDonald's, you went to buy chicken. Then they'll ask you, do you want chips? Do you want to make this a meal? You said you were only going to buy, not what's this thing my son likes? KFC wings, spicy wings. But then they'll ask him, do you want chips? Oh, why don't you make it a meal? Oh, why don't you add Sprite, Coke? Okay, what about adding McFlurry or all these things? Before you realize your £2 that you plan to spend, you've spent £14 as you are working out. That's how they offer you additional things that make sense for what you've bought. But you're like, oh yes, I want that, add it. Oh yes, I want that, add it. So there are ways in which you can add additional products that you can scale. So you can go from making 10K to 100K to 200K to 500K to millions. That's how you do it. And then once you've got a really good system going, you can add on multiple income streams. Digital income, one of the things I love about it is that it shows you, it allows you to add on additional ways of making money. So I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So let's go through each of these stages. So the idea stage, at the idea stage, you can use AI to figure out, like I said, what problems you've solved, what people, this is very important, what people are already paying for. Sometimes people create products and they get frustrated that nobody's buying because they created a product based on what they want to sell. they didn't do the due diligence to find out, is there already a market, an existing market for this solution? Are there other people selling similar things? In the digital space, competition is your friend. You don't want to be the first mover advantage. You are the one who has created the most fantastic thing. Please, no, we are not doing that. Figure out what you are good at, figure out what people are already paying for, and then you create a solution that's sort of aligned so that you don't waste time building something that nobody wants, that nobody is going to buy. Okay. Now, AI tools. So I talked about this earlier on, like how do you figure out what you could create? So I've actually created an AI tool, it's an AI guide that allows you to do this, figure out what is it that you could sell in 15 minutes. I've given you very carefully written questions that will sort of pull out of you, what have you been through? What do your friends say you're good at? What did you enjoy? Who did you help recently that made you feel so good about yourself? So, really good questions that will tease and pull it out of you. And then using really good ChatGPT prompts. Engineer Alph was talking about your prompts. The quality of your prompts makes a big difference. So I've given you power prompts that you then use with the free ChatGPT. You don't have to use the paid version. So you put in the answers to your questions, use the ChatGPT prompts, and it's going to show you what product you can create that can generate 10K a month for you, and then which one should you start with. So a little further on, I'll show you how you can get access to that tool. But I wanted to talk about it a little bit because I mean, my students have used it and it's really helped them to get momentum and get going. Instead of wasting time thinking, what am I going to do? What's my niche? You can move forward quickly. Now, the creation stage, you can use ChatGPT and Claude or Gemini or any of these other AI tools to help you to structure your product. I personally teach people that write your messy notes because it's your digital product. There's a lot of information online. If it's just information, people can find it online. But you're not just creating information, you are writing how you solve the problem. So what did you do? How did you do it? So start with a download or writing on what you did. Then you put it into ChatGPT and it organizes and it structures it nicely for you. You can use Gamma. These are specific AI tools that I use and I recommend. So Gamma can actually build it for you. You don't have to sit down and design anything. Canva is always increased. They've just released a whole lot of AI improvements and things. I haven't had time to play around with it, but Canva is incredible. You can create something that looks so good, so professional, and you don't have to have any design skills. You don't need to know colors and arranging. Canva will make it very easy for you, templates wise. Then when you get to the offer and the copy stage, now that everyone is using AI, a lot of content can sound the same, but that doesn't have to be your story. You can train AI on your voice, on your tone, on your values, how you talk, so that even though you're using AI to help you create your offer and to help you create your copy that you use for your marketing, it doesn't sound like some stranger. It sounds just like you, except a polished version of you, the copywriting expert version of you, okay? You can even build your own custom GPT so that every time you're creating content or creating your offer or your copy, you're not starting from scratch. Launch stage. So when you get to the selling stage, there are platforms that make it so easy for you to put your product in their store. They'll generate a link for you and then you start selling it. I've listed some of the platforms here. So Beacons, Stan Store, System.ai allow you to sell, you literally upload it, write your copy, everything in under an hour. And then you can also use Seller. For those of you who, usually like you have a network of people. So maybe your family and friends, people you went to school with back home in Ghana. You've created a digital product, you're here in the UK, they can't pay in pounds. They don't have international credit cards and things like that. Seller is a really cool platform that allows you to set your price in pounds or dollars, but anybody that comes to the site will see your product in their local currency. So CD is there, Naira is there, Rand is there, Zimbabwean, all the currencies, 14 African currencies. So that's a good one to take note of. Then when you come to the marketing stage, marketing is how you get, like I said, eyeballs to see your digital products. Okay, so one of the women that I follow online, she was saying that if you're not using AI for content creation today, like presently, if you are not using AI, or if you're afraid of using AI for content creation, for marketing, for driving traffic to your product, it's literally like showing up to a Formula One race, but you're on a bicycle. Like you've been left behind. Left behind. The key is to leverage AI to help you to create content faster, help you to stay consistent, help you to create content that actually speaks to your potential clients so that they will buy your digital products. Then Engineer Alph mentioned 11 Labs. 11 Labs allows you to generate realistic voice over, like your own voice. You can also use HeyGen. There are so many different platforms and tools. I'm sharing these with you because these are the ones that I use. They are great. These are the ones that I recommend. So you can save this. 11 Labs for voice. You can use HeyGen to create your avatar. And then Opus Clip. So if you've ever tried to create content online, then you will realize that it can be time consuming. You create content for YouTube, you have to film it in landscape. Then you create content for TikTok, then you have to change it. Editing, it can take a lot of time. Opus Clip is an amazing AI platform where you load your video in landscape and it automatically reformats everything for you and gives you clips that can go viral and allows you to repurpose your content. It's fantastic. Then when you get to the scaling stage, you also want to use AI agents that can do things for you, right? So traditionally, if you were running a business, you have to think about finance, you have to think about marketing, you have to think about customer service, you have to think about new product development. Now you can use AI tools and agents to automate many of these tasks. Claude is doing that, advanced AI systems acting like virtual assistants that help you to do the work of multiple people, all right? Work that you would normally outsource. And then when you come to multiple streams of income, one of the most powerful things, I talked about this earlier, digital products, is there's no glass ceiling. You can layer multiple income streams. So you can start with digital products, then you add on affiliate income, which is where you recommend tools. Like, you know how I've shared with you 11 Labs, HeyGen. I could give you a link and say, if you decide you want to get it, use my link. When you buy it, 11 Labs or HeyGen, let's say you paid $30 or £30, they might give me £5 out of that as a thank you for me referring you to them. Okay, so affiliate income. You can have memberships where you support groups of people. You can add on coaching. You can add wait, let I go back. UGC, user generated content. You can sell SaaS tools. There's so many things that you can add on. It's amazing what you can do. So at this point, I'm going to invite Dr. Nana Gazy to share with you her experience. She's actually based in Ghana. She's a medical doctor. She created her digital product, and her very first launch, she made $1,000 plus. So instead of me telling you how it works and showing you, I want you to hear it from somebody who has actually, someone who is a complete beginner, who has actually done it. So should I stop sharing? Let me stop. I'm going to stop sharing. And then if we can please have Dr. Nana Gazy. Yes, there she is.
Hi.
Please, the floor is yours.
Hi, Na, and everyone in this space. I want to share briefly my coach, Nashika. So she's my coach. In the beginning, I heard people talking about how they had made money online, but I couldn't figure out exactly how they did it. And, because of scammers, you don't want to tolerate anything anyhow online. So even though I was praying to God for multiple streams of income, I was really, really scared. But then when I met Nashika, after listening to her, like she's done so eloquently, she made it sound doable. And so I decided to quickly join her trail. So she has a wonderful guide on how you can do this. And so she introduced me to the Digital Boss Academy, the DBA, which is a whole community where you get to learn how to use almost all the AI tools you can think about, including what Engineer Alph D shared. By the way, greetings to you, Engineer Alph D. Long time no here. So after joining the community, I decided that I didn't have time to waste because it's a community that you can join and have access to all sorts of tools, but then you definitely need somebody to be by you if you want to go through very quickly. You're not going to now sit down, learn how to use Canva, learn how to use this, that. And Na's got the expertise because she's taking her time to learn a lot about all these AI tools, and she can come along as a coach. So yes, I said, let's go, because I've been praying and itching to see whether this thing really works. And so she made things easier by first showing me how to identify the data products that I could make and which apps to use. So as a medical doctor, I'm also a child development expert. I see children with all sorts of developmental problems. And the latest is all the mental health issues that are coming along with excessive use of screen time. And so parents come to me with children with speech delay, with that, with all sorts of autism-like symptoms, hyperactivity. And I thought that, of course, after running my talents and hobbies and abilities through ChatGPT, the idea came up that I could write an ebook that parents can readily buy and read about screen time and how to raise their children in a safe and healthy way. So I learned a few things from the DBA, how to use certain apps, but of course, not without the guidance of Na. So I discussed the book idea with Na, and then she said, okay, as a coach, you can do this, do that, go to the DBA school, read about this app, learn this tool, and run along with it. So we're meeting weekly and for progress updates and all that. So I wrote my book. I edited using Gamma app, and with the assistance of ChatGPT, I was able to launch the product step by step. So within 3 months, I had a book, and now helped me to create a store, an online store, a secure one. She helped me to also generate some bit.ly links, create a Zoom meeting for the launch. We use all these tools to create the invitation, circulate them. And in fact, this is really exciting because you need to have time to make something work for yourself and not just simply have a job where you go to work with somebody. And it's much simpler than I thought. Yeah, so we did that, launched the book online, and I was surprised that I was able to rake in my first $1,000 and plus right there in the meeting. In fact, she's been such a great coach, pushing for progress every time. And you do need somebody by your side because this requires time for you to sit down and really get along with what you want. But then because you are taught what to do step by step, it's just easy. Do this, you do it, then do this, then you do it, then do that before you realize I have a data product. I remember that I had to travel to SA during the period, and now I was still at my back looking for progress, finding out what I was doing and all that. And she's just good at this sort of thing. So now I feel good about myself because I have this book selling online. People just go, as I recommend it to people, they go, they buy the book, and the money goes into the online store. I get even a message, I get a text message to alert me that somebody's bought a book. Whilst I'm sleeping, I'm getting alerts here and there. And because this is my line of job, I can recommend it to as many parents as I can in a day, and you get people buying, cashing on it. So what I'll say that everyone has got some strengths and unique abilities that can sell online. All you need to do is talk to Nashika more, and rather than going on about looking for websites, there are so many websites online that say you can learn an AI tool in 30 days, etc. at a cost. Look, those are just what they are. But this is a real community where you can start as a beginner with nothing, and within a few months, if you give it the commitment it requires, you are sure that you are going ahead with something. So thank you very much now, and thank you everyone for the audience.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gazy. And I think it was important for you to hear from her rather than me telling you this is how it's done, because what she described is exactly what I tell everybody to do. Figure out your idea, create your product, upload it. Can you see my screen? Sorry, let me just make sure I'm sharing my screen. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see it.
Upload your product, get a link, start selling it. And now that she's done that work, she's just talking about it, sending people to the page, and they are buying. And she's already done the work to create her digital product. So I just wanted you to see that it's possible, even for someone in Ghana. So if those of you here or in Ireland or abroad, it's definitely possible for you as well. So just a minute. So let's talk about why people don't start. So the biggest reason people don't start is not because they lack the skill. It's not because they can't learn how to do it. It's actually two things. One is they don't know what to create. So what is this thing called? Analysis paralysis. They don't know what to create. So they sort of stay stuck in this cycle of watching YouTube and learning this thing. They learn dropshipping, then they learn digital products, then they go and learn crypto, then they go and learn something. They don't know what it is that they can create. Or the flip side is they are so talented, multi-talented, they have so many ideas that again, they have analysis paralysis because, I could create this. Oh yes, but I could also create this. Then I can also create this. And sometimes they start a little bit of everything and don't dedicate time to one thing, get it like Dr. Gacy's product is live. She can make money with it. Does she have other ideas? Absolutely. But did she start doing all of them at the same time? No. So sometimes when you have too many ideas or you don't know what to create, they all lead to the same spot. You don't start. So, and she talked about this. I'm actually glad she mentioned this. If you are using YouTube or Facebook or any social media, you've probably seen the ads. People have been coming up on your phone talking about making money online, digital marketing, and it can feel like a scam. Okay, you've probably seen those ads, and it sounds like a scam, and nobody wants to waste their money, especially if you have a job and you have limited resources. This is your little side hustle that you are trying to get to change your life. You don't want to waste that money, and the truth is, it's fair. It's true. A lot of people online are not legitimate. A lot of scams are online. A lot of people make promises and they don't give you enough proof. So I wanted to share this with you. I don't know if you can see. Can you see? Can you see this 250K? Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, okay, good. So the platform that we put digital product on is called Kajabi. You can search for it, Kajabi. It's a huge, huge, huge platform. And when you make money online, they send you milestone pins. They didn't come on the cap. I just put them here so that I can find them in the same place. So when we made our first 1K, if Dr. Gazy had used Kajabi, she would have been sent this pin, the first 1K. Then you make your next, then you make 10K, you get a pin. You make 50K. I can't see it. I don't know if you can see it, but I can't. Then you make 50K, you get a pin. From 50K, if you get 100K is $100,000 of your digital product sold online. $100,000, you get a pin. Then $250,000, you get another pin. So I've got all these pins. Unfortunately, we moved from Kajabi before we crossed 5. We've made $500,000 with our digital products, like real money, not fake money. Real money that was actually put into our bank account. And it was some of that 500,000 that cushioned us from that 2022 when, I lost my income. So I just wanted to show it to you that there's definitely proof I've done it. And, there are people who are teaching others how to make money online, but they themselves haven't made money online in any other business or online business other than teaching people how to make money online. So like you are their money. But I've actually made this not in teaching people how to make money online. It was a business that my husband teaches. He's a DevOps engineer, and we created digital products teaching people how to become DevOps engineers. Very, very technical, very, very technical, very niche area. But the principles are pretty much the same. So we're taking what we've learned and applied doing that and teaching others how to do it. Okay. So here is the truth. What I want to share with you is this. It's a simple model. The 7 steps that I took you through, if you follow those 7 steps, you will have your product live, you will add additional products, you will build on additional multiple layers, and before you realize it, you would have made real income online. It's a repeatable process, and it works regardless of where you are, whether in Ghana or UK or Ireland or US. Doesn't matter whether you are old or young, doesn't matter whether you're a student. I know somebody who started as a medical student, and his first digital product was teaching other students how to cram information and pass exams. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was in school, I would have bought that product, because if you're a medical student, their books are like this big. And guess what? He made $20 million selling that product. I don't think he made 20 million with just that. He added on additional things, but just starting that has now led him to have made $20 million online, teaching people how to pass exams as a student. Okay, so like I said, find a problem that you can solve, package your solution into a digital product, and the possibilities are amazing. And AI just makes it all so much easier now. And in fact, Dr. Gaze's sister, she's one of my students as well. She said, "Nah, I'm only doing this because I know you. I've seen all these scams online. I didn't believe it." So there are a lot of people who come to me and they're like, the only reason I'm willing to give this a try is because I know you, because I trust you. I know you, I know where you live. I can come and find you if I don't make my money. But I want to say that this is not about me per se. I'm just here to show you what's possible, show you the model, show you the pathway, which is solve a problem, package a solution, and sell it to the people who have that problem. And that model works. So now let's talk about that free AI tool that I was telling you about. Like I said, it'll show you how to turn your experience into a product that you can sell. Find ideas. Everybody here has ideas. Everybody here has ideas. You are sitting on a gold mine. Use that tool to figure out what you can create. Validate demand, right? So it uses ChatGPT, and ChatGPT can search the market. There has about 850 million users or something like that. I don't know what the stats are, but a lot of people are putting information in. So Chat can do that market validation for you, so that you're not wasting time building a product that doesn't scale. It helps you also to pick one. It will give you, it'll allow you to stop guessing. You won't have confusion. You're not going to get stuck in analysis paralysis. And then it'll give you the confidence to take that next step. Because when it shows you what's possible, then now if you are making a decision, should I do it? You feel a little bit more confident. So I'm almost at the end of my session. This is what I want you to do. If what I've shared with you makes sense and you want to know what could you also create, so that tool is a free tool, just like Engineer Alph was doing his shared with you the free job search tool. This tool could be paid, but I'm making it free because everybody has to start with the idea. Like if you don't have your idea, what are you building? So I've made this free for you. If you scan that QR code on the screen, or if you go to this short link, bit.ly/AI niche finder. When I come off, I'll put the link in the chat. Or I don't know, Benji, if you could type this, it's pretty simple. Put this in the chat so people can click and go to it. So the 3 things I want you to do. Go and download the tool. It's free. All you have to do is put in your name and email, and it'll be sent to your inbox. Then I've just started a YouTube where I go a little bit more detail, teaching you how to start, particularly for beginners. So I focus on helping beginners start with digital marketing. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Digital Income with Shika. And then I'm giving you my phone number. Send me a WhatsApp with the word done, that you've downloaded the guide and you've subscribed to my YouTube channel and you are done, because I have a bonus for everybody who does it. This is a very ethical bribe to say thank you for doing it. If you complete those steps, I will send you, I have a list of the tools that I'm using. So the platforms that I'm using, the tools I'm using for my content creation. If you just Google AI tools for content creation, you get like 50. So which one should you use? Are you now going to subscribe and follow each and every one? See, this one is not good, this one is not good, this one is not good. By the time you finish, you've wasted a lot of time and money. So my recommended list saves you time and money. So if you just do those 3 things, and you send me a WhatsApp, because I need to have access to you. I'll send it to you on WhatsApp. So send me a WhatsApp. So this is my number, 074115436991. You have to do 1, 2, and 3. Then send me a WhatsApp, and I will send you my tools, the tool list. And if you send me your idea, so you download the freebie and you come up with your idea. If you want feedback, I will send you feedback as well. And then when you download that freebie, if you've listened to me and like, oh my gosh, I really want to know what this is, what's the step-by-step system, I have a training where you watch over my shoulder and I show you how to create your first digital product and make your first 1,000, like a similar training to what Dr. Gazy watched. It's usually $100, but it's $27 if you get it as you download the free guide. You don't have to, but if you want to know how to do this step by step, then grab that as well. It's called the Digital Income Jumpstart, but that's if you want to take that next step. So I think I'm pretty much done. Okay, so my final message is, please, please, please don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. You don't need more information. You don't. You need to start. One of the things I say on my YouTube is, it's actually when you start that you get clarity. You don't get clarity before you start. So like, just take that first step, figure out your idea. Oh, okay, I like the idea. What's the next thing? How do I create my product? Okay, then you just get understanding as you go step by step. Dr. Gazy, she's a medical doctor, but she's learned to create a digital product just by literally doing one step at a time. And now her product is live and she's selling. And also, please start while you're still working. Don't wait and be like that woman on the rich house, poor house, who unfortunately got that scary diagnosis and their family is now on one income. Starts before you need it. So that's it, Benji. I think I'm 2 minutes over my time.
Wow.
I'll stop here and then
Wow.
we can take questions.
Wow,
Thank
this
you
is
very much.
mind-blowing. This is mind-blowing. Thank you so much, Na. Thank you so much. I mean, it's been more than worth it. And I said it, Dr. Gazy, Dr. Nanesi Gazy, you remember Dollar, I'm sure. Yeah, Cosmates, but she's also an alumni of tech, I believe. So that's great to see you. It's been so many years.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, so I mean, guys, I think we've been bombarded with all these digital tools and the opportunities out there. So let's do a Q&A session now. Looking in the chat window, I think there's one from Salali. Nashika, this is a great presentation. So
Thank
many
you.
questions, but Salali says that what digital product did you create? Not looking to recreate, but out of curiosity, what digital product did you create?
I think so. She must have asked this before I talked about it. So the digital product that we created was how to become a DevOps engineer. So I was not the one teaching it, but I was the digital products behind the scenes. And my husband, who is a DevOps engineer, we created it for him. So he learned IT he never did computer science, he never did IT, he didn't know any IT. He pretty much learned it by himself. So he sort of understood how to become an engineer when you have no IT background. and he loves to teach. So our digital product was teaching people who are coming from a non-IT background how to learn AWS, how to learn cloud computing, how to learn the AWS tools. This is very, very specialist, and become DevOps engineers. So, people who are maybe like come to the UK, you have a master's in Ghana, but when you came here, you sort of couldn't get a job in your field, so you are doing security or something like that. They came into our course, and instead of making 20K, some of them were making 70,000 a year, 85,000 a year, because they got specialist on the job training of how to become DevOps engineers. So I took what my husband knew, we packaged it, and we created that course. So that's the course that we created.
Wow, that's wonderful. Okay, great. So please, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat window, and I will create a breakout room at the end.
Alph D has open.
I think
Alph D.
Okay, Alph D, you have your hand up. Yeah. But at the end, when we will officially end it, we will create a breakout room just for wind down and chit chat room, and you don't have to go in there. But I think speakers will be very happy to stay there for a few more minutes just to chit chat. But Engineer Alph D, you've got your hand up, please.
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you very much, Naashika, for your presentation. Love your energy. Thanks for your comeback. Thanks for going through those 2 years of struggle, your job time, and then coming back, fighting, and giving it all out large. Very, very much appreciated. It shows that we can't afford to sit on our butt and do nothing. What we can actually do something. So thank you very much for your presentation, and thanks for sharing it as well, because I could see that was a bit personal, especially at the beginning. But thank you very much.
Thank you for your kind words.
Ben, over to you.
Okay, thank you. Right. Any more? Another question. Do you have to teach courses on camera on Kajabi? Okay, this is coming from Salali again.
No. Kajabi is actually quite an expensive platform, so I don't recommend it to beginners anymore. As a beginner, I think you have to pay like $179 a month. And if you haven't yet started making money, that's a lot of money to be spending. So I don't actually recommend people start with Kajabi. There are other platforms. System.io has a free forever plan. You will quickly outgrow it, but starting with that free plan allows you to sort of create your products, make your first sales before they start charging you. So no, you don't have to teach courses on Kajabi. You can use.
Can you say that again? What was that link?
The platform.
Yeah, the alternative to Kajabi.
The alternative is system.io. I stopped sharing my screen. But it's one of the platforms I shared. Salali, do the 3 things and send me that done, because the toolkits that I share will have. Pardon?
It's already done.
Oh, fantastic. So I'll send you my list, and it will include that system.io.
Brilliant.
I'll show you which platforms I recommend for beginners. Dr. Gazy, we didn't use System. We used Beacons, and then she also had somebody develop a website for her because she had access to that gentleman. So we can do a customized thing, but anyway, it doesn't have to be on Kajabi. There are free ones and good ones for beginners. And 2, you don't have to show your face. No. So if you were here when I talked about you have to show your face, you can go faceless. Or you can create an AI avatar that can teach on your behalf. So there are options if you don't want to show your face. I hope that helps.
I have an ebook that I wrote over 20 years ago. It's probably a good time to publish it and create a course around it.
Sounds like it. I'd love to chat with you about that. Yeah.
Perfect.
Just a quick one. With the rooms, what's the situation? I can see.
Yeah.
You want me to join a particular room?
Yeah, so what's going to happen? This session was, I think, blocked for 2 hours. So, and we have about 7 minutes left. So, in 7 minutes time, we will officially probably end it. But the breakout rooms will be there. Maybe room 1 will be Engineer Alph D, and then room 2 will be Na. And so wherever anyone wants to go, you can freely choose and then go and have your chit chat there. You don't have to join, but.
What about the third speaker?
Yeah, so with the third speaker, I have to put in the apology for him. He's just messaged me. He messaged me about an hour ago. He